Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a fourth-year student here at Carleton University in biology. I'm also a mentor with the SSSC and a co-team lead of the career team. Today I'll be talking to you about getting into research. We'll cover finding research opportunities, getting involved in these opportunities, as well as how to get funding. So first off, trying to find research opportunities. This is really hard unless you know someone who can kind of tell you all about them. So if you're on your own and you don't know where to start, this is a good place to be. The main thing I'd recommend doing are talking to your professors. Your professors are here to teach, but they're also here to carry out research. Most of your professors, who are not just lecture professors, have labs. And in these labs, they do research. And they're the people that will take in students to carry out their research. So my main thing is to find a professor you like or a class you like and get talking to that professor. Whether you talk to them after class or you make a meeting to go to their office, just sit down and chat with them about their research and see if it's something that you would like. Another thing to do are to talk to your TAs. TAs are generally grad students. So these grad students do research either at the master's or PhD level. So their job every day of the week is to carry out research. Another great way to find out about research opportunities is to attend different events on campus. Science Lab Tour Week is a great opportunity that allows you to actually go into labs with professors and have them tell you all about their research and show off all their cool equipment. You can sign up for this online. It's very easy and it's not overly time consuming. You can pick any of the labs you want to go to. You don't have to go to the ones that you don't. It's about 30 minutes and you learn a ton of information. I highly recommend going to this event to find out what labs are like. In first year, they're very different than anything you've experienced in high school, and it can be a really cool opportunity to see what your professors do when they're not teaching you. Another thing you can do is come by the SSSC. Many of our mentors are involved in research, and all of our mentors are educated and can help you find out what research opportunities there are and help you throughout the process of getting involved. So now that you know all about the different research opportunities on campus, and hopefully you've picked a research opportunity that interests you, now you need to know how to get involved. The first thing you want to do is to find a supervisor. I generally recommend, when going through this process, to look through the website, find out a little bit about what each professor does, and narrow down a couple that you find very interesting. Keep in mind that you're going to have to do this research for a decent length of time, so make sure it's something you generally like and you're not settling for something that maybe isn't your favorite. The first thing you want to do is send out some emails. Especially if they're professors that are off campus and not at Carleton, sending out an email is a good place to start. If it's a professor that you're currently taking class with, maybe just go by after class, say hi, introduce yourself, and say that you'd like to set up a meeting. This might be a formal interview, or it might be a casual meeting depending upon the professor. They'll likely make it relatively clear, and if not, you can ask them to clarify. If it's a formal interview, you want to come prepared. Come with questions, read about their research, have a CV prepared. Say why you want to be involved in their research, and make sure you know a little bit about the research. There are two big things to keep in mind when getting involved in research. One, it's a large time commitment, and two, you're not going to start off publishing papers. Make sure you get clarification from your supervisor on how much time it is they want you to spend in the lab. Some supervisors expect you to be in and day out. Some are okay with you popping in once or twice a week, so make sure that you're prepared to commit to the amount of time that they want you to be in. Depending what lab you're in, you might be out doing field work with ecologists, or you might be doing bioinformatics in front of a computer. There's a large variation in what your day-to-day will look like depending what lab you're in. However, this is a great thing to talk about with your professor. The other thing to keep in mind is that, again, you will not be starting off at the top, running the lab, publishing papers, writing grants. However, you will get there. Generally, as a first year coming in, you'll be assisting someone. You might get paired up with an upper year student and you'll work alongside them. Or you might just shadow everybody in the lab to get an idea of techniques. Now that we've covered the different research opportunities and how to get involved in these opportunities, let's talk about funding. Funding is a huge part of science. Funding is basically how are you going to get money to do your research. If you're a first year, you may have heard about a DSRI, which I mentioned earlier. This stands for Dean's Summer Research Internship. Most universities don't have paid research opportunities for their first year students. However, Carleton specifically has this internship. You will be invited to apply for this internship in your first year based on your academic standing. You want to have above a 10.0 GPA to be invited to apply. Invited does not mean you get it. Lots of people apply for this opportunity, and every year the number of positions for it varies. However, it is competitive. When applying for this opportunity, you need to have a supervisor before you can apply. Therefore, you need to know what lab you want to work in. So once you've picked a lab and you've picked a supervisor and they've taken you on as a student, that's when you'll start your application. And for your application, you're going to tell the committee why you want to do research and why you should get this opportunity. Upper year students can have NSERC. This is not just specific to Carleton, it's across multiple universities. This is government funding for you to have the whole summer as a full-time job to do research. Again, this is a very competitive opportunity, and you will be invited to apply based on your GPA. Again, you need a minimum of a 10.0 GPA to apply, and competitive standing is around 11.5. However, this changes year to year, so always take the opportunity to apply. Don't think that your GPA isn't the highest, so you won't get it. It depends who else applies that year. Another opportunity is iCurious. This opportunity is not over the summer like the others, it's during the school year and it's part-time. Another great thing about iCurious is it's not as dependent on grades as the other internships. iCurious is run through the Discovery Center on the 4th floor of the library, and you apply throughout the year whenever you decided you want to do it. There's no specific deadline, it's basically when the funding runs out. So you can start as early as August and apply as late as February. For this opportunity, you do need, again, to have a supervisor before you apply, and keep in mind that the supervisor has to match payment with Carleton. Therefore, if they say that they don't take iCurious students, don't take it personally, maybe offer to volunteer, because iCurious can be expensive for supervisors. So that's all of our research opportunities. To check out more and to check out more on external research opportunities such as Agriculture Canada, Health Canada, the Experimental Farm, make sure to check out Carleton's website.